We make wicked cups of cocoa.
Hey, can you get me a cherry Dr. Pepper?
No, I'm not in a place. You're blocking. You're totally blocking me. How am I going to get out?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Talking Shit. We all get together, talk some shit.
Oh,
put on a little bit of mood music in there. I don't put it on during the other one because I like to put in Indian music or holiday music for the Christmas movies. Lots of interesting things going on this week, folks. So we can get into it. We can get Goldberg out of the background. There we go.
Oh.
Let me try to find some background stuff. So Liz, that was a great topic that you talked about during our thread. You wanna bring it up, bring us into it.
Which?
The IDW stuff.
Oh, the IDW.
Yeah.
So I've been hearing for a few months. This isn't like a new thing for me. It's just new because more people are talking about it. But I've been hearing about problems with IDW publishing for like the last, 7-8 months. This whole year, actually. That the first like rumblings had to do with them losing their contract with Hasbro because they're losing like everything, and they started canceling a whole bunch of their titles. And Marvel was having them print their like all ages, like their Star Wars adventures, and they were doing some. They did like Captain Marvel and Spider-Man and their Amazing Friend type. Like there's some IDW ones that they were doing. Anything that was kind of like their young adult, all kids kind of stuff, was all being done. Star Wars Adventures, yeah. And what was the other one? Shoot, I don't remember, but they all got pulled. Oh, they were doing DuckTales, and they were doing Disney, all of that stuff too.
Yeah, the DuckTales was good. We were doing the Comic Kids show about the DuckTales ones.
Yeah, so IDW had all of that, and then they had all the Hasbro stuff, and they stopped doing the Disney stuff for a while because now I think Dynamite's picked that up. They're doing like Gargoyles and DuckTales and Darkwing Duck and all that stuff, and Dark Horse is picking up the Star Wars young adult stuff. And that's going to Dark Horse, back to where it started from. And the Hasbro stuff, nobody knows who's picking up those IPs. And it's just, like I said, I've been hearing about this for a while now. And every now and then I would talk about it when we would do our new comic book day type stuff, or when I would do my previews with Liz and say, hey, you might want to start picking some of this stuff up because you might not get it anymore because I don't know what's happening with it. There's some rumors, but now it seems like one of the links that I sent you guys, he had like the numbers, and you can see their movement because they also canceled their they did like a board game like line of things. They were doing some movies. They had Lock and Key and Winona Earp were both IDW like properties. Those were the only ones that really kind of took off, or 30 Days of Night. So I personally think it's the Dark Horse Comics syndrome back in the 80s and the early 90s. Dark Horse's main staples were intellectual properties, and they were paying a lot out to do those things, and they just weren't getting the return in. They didn't have enough of their own creator-owned stuff to balance it out to actually make money. And when they stopped being able to pay for their intellectual property stuff, they lost Star Wars and Terminator and Aliens, and they spent a lot of money in marketing. Dark Horse did back in the day to try to create their own like shared like universe with like Barbed Wire and The Mask and X and Ghost and a handful of others, and it just never took off. And it was rough for Dark Horse, and I think IDW fell into that same trap. But there was more opportunity because for IDW, because now you had more streaming services where your properties could get picked up, and people were writing, I think, in IDW, they were writing specifically in hopes that they were going to go straight to Amazon or Hulu or Netflix or whatever, and that's how they were writing their comic instead of just writing a good story for the comic book medium. And they started picking up all these intellectual property rights, and they started having to pay out on all of that stuff. But unfortunately, they kind of went what the term is now. They went woke. They started making, gender fluid ponies for My Little Pony, and they started making like gay Transformers. And
gay Transformers?
Yeah, there is in I think it was one of the Christmas holiday specials. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. It was a story with two male Transformers that were in love with each other. And so they started tweaking those types of things. They did gender swapping in G.I. Joe stories with some of their characters. And I think a lot of people just stopped buying it because they started taking those things away.
Yeah, when they
Hold on.
when they put Snake Eyes' soul into a girl, it was pretty fantastical, and that was when I kind of dropped out of G.I. Joe.
Wait a minute. So there's robots that are gay. There's Transformers that are gay out there.
So I don't know if it was, or was it, okay, it's one of their holiday specials. It was either a Christmas one or a Valentine's Day one. Because they did a Valentine's, I think now that I think about it, it might be the Valentine's Day one-shot special that they did. It was either this year or last year that they did it, because there were two stories that were in it, but one of the stories had to do with two male Transformers that were in love with each other.
Did not know that there was
Right.
male, female love, and like.
So,
Well,
there's
RC
obviously
was a
male
female
because RC's a
Transformer.
female.
Right,
There's
but how
female.
many times in the cartoons was RC in love with one of the other like that was to me one of the dopest things is that the Transformers were like they had they were there to do a mission. It didn't matter if she was a girl or
Right.
a guy. They never once said, "Hey, stand back, RC. You're a girl." She was neck and neck with the rest of them. Sometimes
Yeah.
even
And that's the thing, but they changed stuff and changed the stories of those things in the comic books, and so it's caused people to
That last link I sent you guys goes into that pretty well. It was kind of late that I sent it to you as far as being able to watch it for this, but if you guys get a chance to watch it, I highly recommend that you do, because
I know I watched it. And
But I think what's happening is that they were paying too much of they took on too many intellectual properties, weren't able to make the books or put the, you know what I mean? They were paying too much out for it, and they didn't have enough good, high selling, creator owned property. You can name some for IDW, but they weren't consistent and they weren't good across the board. And it didn't make them enough money to be able to justify them being, or for them to be able to pay out the intellectual property. And because they messed up so much of the stuff that were just given, like Nate would have probably kept buying G.I. Joe when, the Transformer fans would still do those types of things because those are hardcore fan bases. But because they messed it up, they lost the money on that, and they had to drop all of that. Because I think they lost everything. I know Turtles are still with them, but I don't know. Turtles not Hasbro. That's Mattel, I think, toy wise. But yeah, I think this is more of like, this is following more in line with the Dark Horse problem of the 80s, with too much intellectual property rights, not being able to pay it out, and not being able to get the return back, and not having their own staple to like offset it. And because they don't have that, they lost. They're losing money hand over fist, and I don't know it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. I don't think they're gonna go like belly up because Dark Horse is still around, obviously, and it's come back strong. They're just gonna have to tweak some things and realize that not everything that they produce is supposed to be written for streaming services. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of it was.
Well, I mean, isn't all of the seeds that were planted through the woke movement, all those decisions they're all coming home to roost now? Like those decisions are really coming back and haunting a lot of these companies that really went too hard in the paint with this stuff. And it's like and Sanchez and I have been saying this for years. I love everybody. I think there's room for all kinds of stories. It's when you go and you try to make Superman be about truth, justice, and not the American way, but some other thing, that you mess with the fabric of these characters. And there's still room to make other characters if you want to be inclusive. And then if they don't sell, then that's not what people want, because people sure as hell don't want you remaking those characters that are iconic, that were built on truth, justice, and the American way, and then remaking it isn't working. It's not working, and I think that we're seeing it across so many different things right now. Like a recent triumph that we've seen was the success of the Wednesday show on Netflix. That show's like going crazy. It's been number one for weeks now. Took out Stranger Things as the most streamed show on the platform, at least thusly. At least an American thing, because I know that the Squid Game was pretty crazy in countries that have a lot more population. But the dollars are speaking. The dollars are speaking of what needs to happen. And then now that everybody was thinking that if they made it and they put it out there and they said that we're the gatekeepers and we're going to put these things out there for you to like, and if you don't like them, then there's something wrong with you. You have some form of ism wrong with you. And it's just, it's really backfiring. You can see, gay transformers. Like, I can see a trans transformer.
Well, I mean, if DC and Marvel really cared about the woke movement, they would put the number one draw artist and writer on those books, but they don't. They put the third, fourth tier writer and an upcoming,
well, but they can't put the number one artist and the number one writer. If they care about, let me finish my sentence. Well, they can't put the number one writer and the artist on there, because the number one writer or artist has to be represented by somebody in the alphabet army. So they would be number one by virtue.
No, they don't. If you put Jim Lee on a DC book on a woke, he doesn't have to be on one of those letters.
I agree with what you're saying, but that movement doesn't. That movement says that if you're going to write an article about gay Superman, then the artist and the writer has to be gay.
As long as they're represented, that's all they care about. If DC would put Jim Lee at one of these new characters that they had earlier, that some guy created Safe Space and all that little Teen Titans group. If they cared about that group, they would have put Jim Lee right off the bat on there. They would have put who's the a DC writer I know that's hot. Something's getting the children guy, whatever that guy's name is. Yeah, they'll put that guy there, and they would put him on there. And I bet you anything that he will write down. He'll have a off the hook story. Well, if and the art will be amazing by Jim Lee.
Well, you hit it on the nose with the writing right there. Is that the problem is that if you don't like,
but they don't care.
Hardwire, right? Hardwire, Static X, those came from guys that had a story to tell. They weren't, you know, they weren't told to go make it. They had a story to tell. So yeah, dude, like I'm with if you have a story to tell, fucking do it. Like, you know what I mean? And if it's good and it's entertaining, fucking people will go with it. And then if you add in an artist like Jim Lee, like you're saying, Havok, you know what I mean? You're gonna fucking make it that much better.
If that big company would care about it, yeah. If the story's good and they put a big name as an artist, you know, it'll go through, but they don't care about it. So it's like
out of all the woke stuff they put out, I love Naomi. I know a lot of people didn't like Naomi, but I loved that book. I loved that whole story.
I enjoyed that book.
Yeah, and it to me, I wasn't being beaten over the head with fucking wokeness. It had a good story. Like, it was a mystery the whole way through, you know what I mean? And then fucking, like, all of a sudden you go, oh shit, I'm reading this, you know, what they're considering woke, but it's actually a good fucking story. You know, it made sense. I have the hardcover. I have all the single issues. Like, I loved it. When the show came out, different story. But the fucking, you know, the book was fucking amazing. Like, that was a great read.
Well, I don't think IDW's problem necessarily 100% is the wokeness. I think that they alienated some because of that.
Right.
I don't think that's the main part of that. I think with them as a company,
streaming.
They overreach. They got too many. They started gobbling up the intellectual property rights. They didn't have enough creator-owned stuff that was consistent, that was good storytelling. You know, they had a few hits here and there with some things. You know, they lost Zombies versus Robots, which was a fantastic series. I mean, like I said, you could pick out when they first started, they were doing a lot of horror stuff. That's what IDW kind of was known. They were the first ones that were kind of known for a lot of their horror titles, and some of that stuff did well for them. And they're like, oh crap, we can turn this into a movie, or that into a TV show, or this into a movie. And I think they started seeing that too much as a potential, and they started putting more of that type of stuff out there in hopes that it's like, okay, we're just going to produce a bunch of this stuff. Let's see all the spaghetti on the wall, and whichever ones stick, it'll make enough to keep us going. And they put too many eggs, I think, in that basket, and then gobbled up all the intellectual property stuff. But the things that they gobbled up was a lot of the young. I call it all ages young adults. You know what I mean? Kind of like the kids stuff, the cartoon type thing. And unfortunately, it just doesn't pay out. You don't have a lot of 8-year-olds that are reading.
And that link that you put on there, Liz, the first video, and it was showing the 3 brand new comic books that they were going from IDW that were going straight to production, I guess. And those 3 comics came out last week or a week and a half ago on Comic Tom's top 20 list. And it showed up at IDW, but because IDW is the one, I didn't know that IDW was producing their own books. They were just saying that they was going to go on to production until I saw that video. I was like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of comics stuff that's going into production, but they have a lot of stuff that's been going into production for
a long time,
years. It's you know what I mean? Oh, so and so is behind it. Great.
When they say they've actually. Pre-production is a word that you don't even fucking consider it being done yet. It's like when they kept saying about The Crow, how they finally said they've wrapped filming on Crow, the new Crow. I was like, oh shit, they actually filmed it. It's literally what I thought. I was like, I couldn't believe they did it. They've been talking about it for fucking years, you know. And now it's finally coming to us and stuff. So I mean, IDW. What happens is that one video you sent, I think Nate, someone sent about the guy talking about why he quit DC or whatever. Okay, some stuff I didn't agree with what he was saying, but there was one thing he did hit on that I've been saying for years, is that what happens is it's hard to come up with something new. It is it's hard to come up with something new that everyone digs, you know what I mean? But it's easy to take a name and just go, hey, guess what? This is it. And then they just tell some story that really has nothing to do with what it is, but it has that name. So you're going to buy that book or you're going to go see that movie, you know, because it has that title. And that's what's happened to the movie industry. It's what's happened to the comic industry. It's the name. They're depending on the name to sell the product. not the story, not the artwork, nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like it's laziness is what it is. That's what IDW got fucked with, is that they depended too much on just those names to sell the books, but what they were putting in the books was not good. So I mean that's the problem with the industry in the whole now. You know what I mean? Like it's just you hope. That's why I love when the Comic Cave and all you guys tell me about these independent books, because some of them are really good. Like you're just like, oh shit, this is legit, like a good story. Again, the writer had something to say, like they wanted to do this story. They weren't doing it for just, oh, this is the G.I. Joe. Okay, let's just go make a G.I. Joe book and hopefully this will sell because it says Snake Eyes on it and shit. Like that Liefeld one. I remember when that book came, everybody wanted it because it was Liefeld and Snake Eyes. And then that first book sold great, and then the second one kind of dwindled, and then the third, and then no one was reading it because it wasn't good. It didn't matter that it had a big name on it. It was just bad. Like, so.
But yeah, they put a big name and a big artist on a book with a big kind of following, G.I. Joe, and it still went to shit.
Yeah.
Because it was, sorry, a bad story.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they still have to pay the big dollars to Hasbro for having the right to sell that. And when you're putting out garbage under these big, you're still having to paying rent. You're still having to pay that rent to those people to be able to use it. And if you're putting out garbage and not getting it back, you're losing money. And there you go. You've got yourself.
This could be a pretty big indicator for like what's to come. Like, is this kind of like the bird flying out of the cage? Like, are we going to see some more bigger companies start to crumble, or is this just an
Canary in the
IDW
coal mine?
problem?
Owning a comic book
exactly.
store, I don't want to say yes, but yes. I do.
Well, it's like we saw such a huge rise with the pandemic, and it's like, I kind of held my tongue, but we see it with variant covers. We see it like chromium gimmicks. It's kind of a lot like the 90s again, and I'm very curious to see if we're headed down that on that 95, 96 path.
Oh yeah, I remember this from when I was working at Mile High. The distributors started changing their policies on their end for certain things because they can see stuff. They can see the actual numbers. They know how many the stores are ordering. They know how many they're getting returned because they have return policies, and they know that these things aren't selling. So they have the accurate numbers for it. So you're going to see the distributors changing their policies, which they are right now. You're going to see some of these small print guys might pull themselves out of some of the bigger distributors and start self-distributing again, because now they have the name. Like you'll see, some of that happening, or they'll offer it as another option instead of going through the distributors. They'll start pushing it to ordering straight through their own websites for comic dealers and stuff like that. You're going to start to see the titles are going to start coming down, like the number of titles being published, and then you're going to start to see the variant covers coming down to nothing. It's just little slow progression of little things that are going to tick down to where, and that's how it happened.
Well, they're pissing people off at the same time on the distribution end, right? Like, a lot of you guys got the ball rolling and were able to get something going for yourselves as independent business people selling comics on whatnot, and you got yourself a little platform and you were doing well, and then all of a sudden that becomes a pay to play thing, and they smash that out for you guys. So like,
well, I mean, they've whatnot when it came out, I think part of it had to do, and I think I'm partially guilty of it, but at the same token, I don't feel guilty. Like, people were buying things they shouldn't have bought for the prices they were paying, so they felt stupid for doing it. And all you guys are witness of it when I looked you dead in your face and was like, dude, I sold this, ASM 6, nothing happened, nothing big, but it went for $8.
And I laughed at you.
Yeah, like like it's true. Like and again, I started it at the $2, $3 mark, and you figure people will bid on it. But I think a lot of people, when I talk to people and go, "Hey man," they go, "Oh dude, I love your show, but I just got burnt out on whatnot." That's literally what everyone says to me is they've been burnt out on it because they got so much stuff that they really kind of didn't want, but they bought it just because of the hype and all that stuff. I mean, there's certain books that have come out, alpha betas, right? The first whatnot book to come out. I went to our friend out in Bakersfield, and he had a stack like this big of alpha betas. That he's like, no, he says nobody wants it. Nobody wants this book. I go on whatnot, 3 sellers have them on there, selling them like that. You go to eBay, none of them are selling. It's just on that platform, so I don't know what's going on there. I mean, even I'm seeing it as a seller there. When I go on there, the only thing that will ever sell is if I have one of those special variants that they have, and then I got to sell it for whatever.
Do you pull?
Yeah, and even that loses value more quickly than fucking con books do. Like if it came out, say I put a do you, say I did a do you poo book today, and then I don't sell them all by tomorrow, I'm losing money. It's just
Did you guys check out Condom Man? Shit's good, dude.
I did. That was a very good review.
And oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to go back to Jason's comment about how we're seeing the cycle repeat itself from the 90s with a lot of similar situations going on. But I think there's a couple of big differences. First of all, in the 90s, they weren't pushing all of the alphabet garbage that they're pushing today. And what's worse about it is it's not simply an issue like they called it in the 90s of political correctness. These people are a cult. They are dedicated to their ideology to the degree that they're willing to suffer loss for the sake of this supposed righteousness. And so when you say, like, are we going to see these companies change their output? I don't have that kind of confidence. In the 90s, there was still like a sense of like normalcy where they can say, okay, maybe we need to pump the brakes. But I think a lot of the creatives and a lot of the executives that are involved here, because they have the ESG goals and these kinds of things, they are incentivized to put the throttle down full and keep driving in this direction. You might see a scaling back of the number of products, but in terms of the content, I don't think we're going to get anything different. It's just going to get more gay.
It's like a snake eating his own tail.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's
and like
sucking his own tail.
And what you guys
Disney just trying to fucking tank
and,
everything so they can buy it on the low.
What Liz and Nate said about the distribution is correct, because I saw another company earlier today on Instagram saying that they were having difficulties with for their Marvel stuff to get all their books, so they had to drop. I forgot what the company name is. They used the new one for Marvel, and they had to go back to the old school company, Diamond, because that's because now they're having problems with the new one, and it's just a big old mess right now. They're saying, and they're all just pissed off on the distributors portion of it too.
Well, Lunar, who does mostly, they're known for DC, but they do some independent ones too. They're changing their policy on stuff for dealers, and they just now changed it. And I know that's caused some dust up with some other like comic stores, and it's Penguin Random House. That's the one that does Marvel.
Yes.
But they also picked up, I believe they picked up IDW and Dark Horse and somebody else, I think, too. So some of these other publishing companies are going to the other distributors too, but you're like, yay, finally we're getting some variation and some competition as to who could do what and distribute through here. But yeah, they're all kind of changing.
I heard Black Caravan also closed their doors.
So they were like a sub series of Scout, right? That's who Black Caravan.
Yeah.
The Swamp Dogs, guys, they got dumped, and they can't produce any more Swamp Dogs right now. So they're trying to do a Kickstarter because they wanted to finish that story. But yeah,
I think you're going to see a lot more of those guys doing those Kickstarter like things because they're fantastic. I found a bunch of fun stuff through there that I would have never like read before. But,
oh yeah, I bought a bunch of Kickstarter stuff, from Palmiotti to Frank Cho to a bunch of other stuff, other artists and writers that are doing their own thing through either Kickstarter or Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Turns out people like Ethan Van Sciver were right. The way that they're going to end up going is to dump these companies all together and just make it themselves.
Well, I mean, nowadays it's easier to do it. It's not as hard to do it. You know what I mean? Like like before, it was hard. You had to sit down, you had to fucking draw it out. Like everything's done digitally now. Like so, I mean, it's not. That was when they started going off of film when they were making movies. And they started doing things digitally. I was like, watch, dude, anyone can make a movie now. Like you don't have to pay for film, like everything is scaled back. That's why when I see some of these crazy budgets on stuff, I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind, dude? How are you doing this? Like, like you could go do this somewhere else, like for dirt cheap. Like, what the fuck, man? So, I mean, same thing with some of these comic book guys. I think what happened was, and I mean, again, they deserve it. People who work on the things and create it, they deserve to be paid for it. But, it's not as easy and cheap to make a book from a well-known person. So they don't accept those. So the guys are like, well, fuck it. I have a name. I can just go out there and do it myself. And a lot of them come out great because, they don't have anything. But the one thing I always want to tell everybody, okay, and this is coming from a Quentin Tarantino lover. I love Quentin Tarantino. I love his movies. But once his editor passed away, okay, and you can see it in his films, as soon as his editor passed away, that's when we started getting 3-hour-long movies of scenes of 10 minutes of Brad Pitt driving down the street, just looking at nothing for no goddamn reason. Okay. So if you're out there producing your own things, please just get a second person to look at it and give you 10 cents. You know what I mean? You don't have to take their advice. Just have a fucking editor. Okay. Cause that could kill your project. And like, I'm always like, just please, I always give my stuff to at least 6 different people to give me their opinion. Because then if you give it to 6 people and 5 people say the same thing, you should probably change that fucking thing that those 5 people said. Because that's your audience right there. I'm just saying.
Put yourself above an ass whooping and you turn into fucking Michael Jackson for sure. One of the things that I'm pretty stoked about is that this media that they're putting out that sucks so bad, I think some of us here, we've gotten a side door into another culture, and this shit from India is fucking amazing, man. We have seen some really, really good movies.
Like this last one was fucking amazing. Like
it was so good.
It's
the best movie I've seen this year.
It was legit. It was Snatch in India. Like it was dope.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so good.
But again, I mean, even what this is what I think is going to happen is a lot of movie companies were depending on, like Disney, were depending on names to fucking get them out there and stuff like that. Now companies are going to hold back on that. You know what I mean? Like pull back the smartest ones out of all those guys, the smartest ones.
No, but look,
Universal.
Well, go ahead. Sorry, you finish.
No, because Universal smelt it in the water with that Mummy movie, right? They had a dark universe going. They were gonna do it. They even paid the actors. It was like, dude, we're gonna fucking put you in this movie. When that Mummy movie hit, they go, if we can't even do this with our own fucking creative properties, we're not gonna gamble on this other fucking stuff.
Like, and Tom Cruise,
they had everything going for him, dude. Like, and I thought I liked it. I liked the movie.
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
it was fun, but they smelted in the water how hard it was going to be to try to make a universe. You know what I mean? Like that shit's got to come naturally. I think that's what it is that everyone's trying to make that universe. When you're trying to do it, it almost never works. It's just got to come naturally. Like fucking even Clerks, dude. The original ending to Clerks is fucking Dante dies, right? He gets shot. He fucking dies. The people who were going to, Miramax and everyone were going to put it out, go, dude, you got to cut that out. And he's like, well, I just had to end it. They go, yeah, just when he closes the store, it ends. They're like, okay. And because of that, they were able to make these fucking universe. Now, some of you out there may not like it and stuff like that, but that's how it naturally came about. You know what I mean? Like, I see things now where people are taking properties and they're just like, okay, Cruella de Vil. You know what I mean? The movie's 101 Dalmatians, but we're watching a movie about Cruella de Vil, the villain of the movie. You know what I mean? Like, just because it is, that's an easy sell. It's like, oh, you liked 101 Dalmatians? You're going to come see this now. You know what I mean?
But no one did, though.
Exactly. Like, you know, like that's, and I love Emma Stone. I love all that whole thing, but fucking even I didn't want to see it. I was like, nope, Fuzzy ain't going to watch that shit, dude. Like, if it's on, maybe one day I'll watch it, but I still have never watched it. Like, it's just not, you have to come back. So what I think is going to happen is the same thing that happened in the 80s and 90s. In the 80s, we had all those action movies. Right? They just kept saturating us with all these fucking action movies. They were bringing up
Cobra.
That's
an awesome movie right there, baby.
Cobra is not an action movie; it's a work of art. That's what that is. Okay, that needs to be held in the loop.
Yeah,
dude, that is
Out to be hard to kill for just
dude, hard to kill. He catches the snake, punches it in the face, knocks it out, and then bites the fucking rattler out. That's art. You can't 20 flips in the air. Fucking amazing. But what happened was we got. Quentin came out of there. Robert Rodriguez came out of there because these guys went out and made their own versions with no one really telling them how to do things. And that's what's going to happen now is you're going to start seeing people coming out with their own stuff. And then companies are going to go, oh, well, shit, if we give this guy X amount of dollars, we can fucking build this on top of that and then go from there. You know what I mean?
Or that's going to happen when the bubble burst, you know, like the 90s.
Yeah.
Just like how Lego was talking about earlier. Liz was talking about how everything seems like it's going back to the 90s and about to explode. I mean, you could see it right away with the 9.8 CPC stuff that I used to buy. I was buying them and they were up $200, $300. Now they're down to $100, $90, $80, like 9.8s that used to cost a lot a couple of years ago. And so that's going down. Same thing with the variants. They're getting cheaper and cheaper because people, they're first of all, there's too many of them, and I mean, how many Harley Quinns and Poison Ivy covers can you sell?
Well, I think you're still discounting the fact that these guys are driven by their ideology. Let's remember that Disney, in order to maintain their stance, were willing to give up their tax-exempt status in Florida that they've had for like 50 friggin' years. They're determined to go down this direction. And I'm really concerned with these great Indian movies that we've been watching that Fuzzy pointed out that Brahmastra is now streaming on Disney Plus. So that damn company has its tentacles wrapped up in the good stuff that's occurring overseas. These companies will devour properties. We've watched them do it with our beloved stuff like Star Wars and Marvel and Ghostbusters and Star Trek and Doctor Who. They're just determined to ruin everything. It's their goal. And they do it with glee. And now Disney brought back their
You like Glee?
CEO. What's that?
You like Glee?
Yeah.
He loves it.
He was dancing around the house singing. I could already see him doing it.
But the thing is
Sight to behold.
this is the piece that's different from the 90s, or even the 80s. Too many action films, people got fatigued. People still had the sense to go, you know what, we're going to shift gears and do something different. Same thing with the 90s. Too many foil covers, too many, big conglomerate storylines. They realized that they could kind of pull it back and do something a little different. Now the ideology is what drives everything. Their creative and executive teams are very upfront with this is what their intent is. They're not going to change that, and they're willing to lose money over it. They're willing to do it.
I sat down and watched. You guys remember The People versus Larry Flint?
Vaguely.
there's a great scene in that movie. I just watched it again last week. I mean, I was like, everyone needs to watch this, just this scene. And it's literally, he wins the case and he's out there and he's explaining what the First Amendment really means. And he's like, look, he goes, you know, it's not about just being able to get, it's about getting out there and saying whatever you want to say. So if they can protect a scumbag like him, it should be able to protect a good person like anyone else. You know, because the fact is that we wouldn't be where we are if we didn't speak out against things. You know what I mean? Like that was the beauty. Like when that one video they're talking about truth, justice, and the American way, and how that was a bad thing. And it's like, it's not. There's a reason why people flood to this country, is because they believe in that. You know what I mean? It's not a knock on any other country and stuff. It's just he's saying that he's equal. You know, he wants everyone to come here, speak your mind, and be able to say it in a safe place where you're not going to get punched in the face for saying. Again,
and the people who have shitty ideas, the best thing we can do is let them talk, because everybody can hear how shitty their ideas are.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if that actually was a true guardrail to keep shitty ideas from proceeding, then how come everybody that's calling the shots believes in the shitty ideas?
Right. No, I totally agree. Like, but that's because they're like you said, they're focused on the message. That it's not. When we get into Willow, I'll tell you. You know, I know how you feel about it. I finally sat down and watched all of Willow. So, and you guys are gonna hate me for this, but I like this better than the Powers of Rings and whatever the hell it was, dude. Like,
of course,
like, but like,
He had all the right words.
who's shocked at that fuzzy like this thing?
No, I didn't say. Look, I liked it better, is what I said. I liked it better, but. Like when I was watching,
it's still swords and sandals, but there's midgets. So therefore,
remember we were talking. I said, look, if it's down here and you give me a little bit of fucking things, it's like a grade. It goes up, dude. You know what I mean? There's good scenes. I still haven't seen the brownies. Once I see the brownies, it goes up here. You know what I'm saying, dude? It hasn't hit there yet. But the what I liked about it, what I thought was so funny about that show, was that if you go back and watch it, right, everyone from the original movie talks about, like they are in the original movie, right? Like they got that Shakespearean way they're talking about, like, doctor, you don't go over there and do that. But every kid in this movie or this show talks like they're on the CW. Like the girl literally looks down and goes, oh shit. Like, I was like, what the fuck, dude? They you know, like, what? And it's like a CW show, and then it turns into a fucking fantasy thing. I was like, oh, this is great. This is so awesome. This is a train wreck I can't look away from. Like,
should have known Fuzzy loved this.
I didn't love it. I liked it. I get
sure.
It has my pecs in there, you know.
But you like it because it's so bad.
Right. Exactly.
You like this like you like Rob Zombie's Monsters.
I didn't like Rob Zombie's Monsters.
Yeah.
That was the sad part. I didn't like that one. But like this I like this like how I like Santa's Sleigh. That's how I like this. Like where it's just like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, come on. And like even down to where they're doing the Laura Dannon thing, like, you know, in the first episode, and they're like in Laura Dannon, and then they cut to the lesbian girl with the red hair and the freckles. Like they tried to make you go like, oh, she's Laura Dannon, like that, and I'm like, no, she's not. Like, no way, that's not Laura Dannon. And then they cut to the blonde haired girl, and I was like, that's Laura Dannon right there. That's, dude, it's just they're spending too much time with this girl and fucking sharing. You know, he says mecca lecca hi, make a hiney ho, and then made the birthmark pop up and shit, and fucking like I was just like, I was like, okay, I was right, dude. Like, I'm ready. Let's go for the ride, dude. Let's do this. Like, let's have some fun, dude.
Wow.
You can't take it as serious, dude. Willow was barely good as it was. Like, fucking, so, Man Marty.
Well,
hey,
shut the hell up.
Man Marty
Shut
was the only thing
up.
that was badass in that movie, and everyone calling each other Pecs and the Brownies. Like, that was the only thing I could dig with it. And even they made Willow badass in this thing. He said, you shall not pass. And boom, and then everyone melted away and shit like that. That was fucking dope. And then he passed out. He said, oh, shit. And he died.
This guy saying Willow's not even that good. Wow.
Reinterpretations of things. It's,
wow.
Because you got to see it through the fuzzy
more
eyes.
Exciting than the actual TV show.
Because you got to see it through the fuzzy eye, man. Like I'm telling you, like there's a.
Stop taking that weed.
Maybe
This
that's
is
what makes
weird.
it that
Give
good.
me a reason to smoke out. If that means I'm gonna enjoy the TV show, if I smoke out, then fuck yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm telling
This
you.
is like,
It was so much fun.
bad.
Like I was, and even down to her sword was badass. It was like a Rambo knife times 10 because it had the jagged things at the end, dude. I was like, yeah.
it
She's
looks
gonna-
like her mom's sword.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
And
why.
then, and then the kid who gets kidnapped, I was like, oh, he's gonna be Mad Mark. Oh nope, he's gone. I thought that was gonna be the new Mad Mardigan. I was like, nope, they took his ass away, dude. And I could not stop laughing. And then like even down to like the cheesy jokes that they try to throw in there every 5 minutes, you know, where he's like, they're trying to do the magic spell and he's teaching her how to do it. And you're just like, this is so bad, dude. Like, oh my God. This is like my kid trying to make a joke. Like, it's that bad.
So, are we officially talking about this travesty now, or is this just still fuzzy?
No,
I guess we should just start.
we can be tragic. It's cool.
I guess Fuzzy's just loving this damn show.
I'll watch it for you guys like I did the American Horror Story. I'll do it. I'll take the bullet. I don't mind it.
No, we watched it. We watched it, and we'll continue to watch it. But I have finally reached my limit with nonsense. Like, I looked at Josh and I was like, this is horrible. This is absolutely tragic. Like,
the dude with the whips.
like, there's little nuggets in it that's kind of fun. Like, okay, this is kind of funny, or this is kind of whatever. But I absolutely hope that character Kit, their daughter, I hope she fucking dies. I hope they fucking like stab her and let her get run over by a car.
I like to hear this.
She's the first one you see on the poster.
And then they throw her off the bridge,
Oh,
and then the trolls
beautiful.
eat her, and then they shit her
Dude.
out, and then they raise her up and kill her again. I absolutely despise that bitch. Like, she just fucking needs to die.
oh,
Just kill her. Just fucking kill her.
thank
'Cause
you.
I
Music to my
cannot
ears.
handle it. She's
Kill
a
them all.
whiny, self-entitled little shit, and I'm tired of seeing this. And they make the thing is that the most interesting characters in this TV show are the men, and they're the ones that they're trying to put down, but they are the most interesting. All of the female characters in this TV show fucking suck ass.
They're
Like,
two-dimensional. They're two-dimensional is what they are. Like, you can...
and we're supposed to be like, oh, Willow is feminine and Willow is
Yeah,
all
but they're
about
they're
hey,
great.
girl
They're
power.
great just because.
Fuck
And if we
that.
can't recognize that, they don't need to have the hero's journey. They're automatically perfect.
Yeah. And
Well, no,
it's like,
that's what I was gonna say. Is I think the girls are on a hero's journey. They're just doing it in a shitty way. Like, they're gonna start off like dicks like this, but by the end of it, have a heart and shit. And that's what I'm hoping it goes.
I
Uh-huh,
honestly don't
yeah.
care. I don't care.
So,
I absolutely hope that they all fucking die. And the only people
Don't
that
talk about
survive
Willow that
is
way.
the Prince
that's my dude.
and Laura Dannon are the only two that I want, and I want them to get together. I even want Mad Mardigan's son to die because I don't know anything about him. But you know what? He's
Who's
going to be
the
a
dude
fucking travesty like the rest of them.
With the big butcher knife. Who's that dude? That's the guy. I
Or-
like.
He's a cool character.
I like him.
And
I like
even
him.
the small midget, what was his friend?
I forget.
Samish, Salish, whatever.
I forget.
The one that dies. He was an interesting character. The little guy that got thrown across onto the rock.
That
he
made
was
me
an interesting
smile. I
character.
shouldn't have smiled, but I laughed. I went, he
And
flew.
the Prince is an actually interesting
He
character.
laughed when the Ewok got stepped on in Return of the Jedi too.
Willow, the problem with Willow is they just turned Willow into Luke Skywalker in the sequels. He's an old, cranky,
Grumpy old man.
grouchy, fucking nobody gives two shits about him. He's not even a cool Gandalf, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
But-
everything about him, he's just a piece of shit. And I hate saying that about Willow because I really love Willow.
but again, like, that's where I think like the hero's journey again, because I remember they were focusing a lot on him going there trying to talk to Laura Dannon, but she wouldn't let him talk to him. And so he's like, I'm leaving, you know, and he's like, I shouldn't have said things. Like, it's all about, that's what I think a lot of this has to do with, is like, not like the characters changing in the sense of the way they view the world and stuff. So hopefully by the end, because that's what they're setting up. They're setting it up like, again, it's bad, and but that's like, when I'm watching it, that's the route they're going. So I'm just like, okay.
I think that's the only thing you see, because I'm sure
you have too much faith in the creative capacity of people. They don't follow these guidelines anymore.
I love your optimism.
Look,
I'm always a half glass full, man.
I am too, except for this, they broke me. The glass got tipped over, and now it's all fucking empty.
So
welcome to the dark side, Liz. Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, it's only 20 years too late. Yeah. So I mean, there was even the part in this movie where in the TV show where Laura Dannon like stumbles across that, like, the woodsman's house with the two ladies that are like from a Western or something.
Herbert
and Hubert. And all I could think to myself is like, oh, what is this? The lesbian duo of Tom Bombadil from Lord of the Rings? It's like, it was so dumb. That's the thing, is that the groan quotient in this show is way too high. It's way too high. Every other scene, you're just like, oh, please. The fight scene when they encounter them in the forest was ridiculous. That nobody believes that the redhead, by extending her arm out like this, can block a downward stroke to kill the princess. That's just not gonna happen.
She has red hair. That means she has powers. Okay, did you not see the first movie? Okay, people with red hair have powers.
I saw her.
This is true. We do.
I saw her in Solo. I saw her in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That actress is trash. She's trash. No, she's only cardboard, man. Okay. She can't act.
So speaking of like dialogue and scenes, no joke. Did you know they stole a scene from Young Guns 2? Like, legit, frame for frame, word for word, stole it. My favorite scene, one of my favorite scenes in Young Guns 2 is when they're riding and they're being chased by Pat Garrett, and he fucking, they see the cliff and they go, oh no, and then Lou Diamond Phillips
go over the cliff?
I'd say, and he goes over the cliff, and he goes, what does that mean? I'd say, and he goes, it means, it's an ancient Navajo word. It means stop. That literally happened in Willow, where they go over the side into the water, and he's screaming that as he goes across. I go, no way. And I looked over at my kid, and I go, watch, he's going to say it's an ancient so-and-so word, and it means stop. And he literally said it right afterwards. I was like, oh, shit. So, yeah, I mean, it's not original.
It's the legend of Young Guns.
It's creative. It's creative bankruptcy. But they think that they can coast to success by just slapping the name Willow on it, even if it has like almost nothing to do with what came before. And it's insulting. And what it demonstrates is that they have no regard for the fans that they're trying to appeal to come and watch this stuff.
This is exactly how I felt with Joker. Exactly how I felt like Joker.
But unfortunately, this is the future, guys. This is what we can expect to come out of these big companies, because this is their goal. This is their goal.
Well, I mean, but again, like they again, back to that People versus Larry Flint. He says it. He goes, the problem with what we don't do anymore is everyone whines about it and they listen instead of us not paying for it. Like, we don't pay for it, then they're not gonna keep making it.
No, that's not true. They don't care about the money. They've already demonstrated that. They will put the content.
Yeah, the mouths don't care.
It's an ideology. It's a crusade. They don't care about the cost. It doesn't matter. Look at the Strange World thing that Disney put out with like gay central characters. They don't care. They're going to do it anyway.
Well, I don't know. That did really bad. So that's what a lot of people are saying too. I mean, like
they're going to do more. They've already said, even after that came out, they've already said they're just going to ramp it up from here.
Well, you can only ramp it up as long as you're not out of business.
Well,
the mouth will never be out of business.
But that's the thing. Remember the ESG situation. They're getting these big investment firms to buy into their stock as long as they're producing this content. They don't care if the content is actually profitable. These companies are going to pump money into their stock regardless of profitability. That's the whole thing. I mean, This is a much bigger problem than just simply shit writing. It really is.
Well, if they bring me in there, dude, I'll fix it all.
Throw your half cup
I know you
full out the window.
So here's a company that brought somebody else in, and James Gunn going into DC.
Oh,
Did you guys like that thing I sent you guys where he was answering back to the fucking
Dude, that was dope. That was dope.
So, I was like, I love this guy. He's so punk rock, dude. He don't give a
Just
shit.
talking shit.
Well, if I'm hoping that if what he did with the Peacemaker, if he can, I don't need the whole DCEU to be jokes and fun times like Peacemaker was, but there was a. There was still classic storytelling going on in that, even with the jokes.
Peacemaker was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Peacemaker was amazing.
And today he said that Superman is important to this to the DCU. So all those people that were talking shit that Superman was gonna be gone, he said nah. Superman is like in number one on his book right now.
It just might not be Cavill.
Well, that would be crazy because Cavill left Witcher to be Superman.
Thank you, Film Age Studios. That's right.
no.
Yeah, no. Well,
Tricky Trapster, money is not a factor moving forward. It's sex, politics, and social justice.
That's
100%.
100%.
100%.
No, I have hope. I mean, I think that once the final dollar amount goes down, that we're going to start seeing some change. It's just that's the only thing they listen to.
They've been losing millions and millions, and they still push forward. How far does it have to go before you understand?
People are thinking that the streaming thing is going to keep paying the bills, but that's the problem. Is no one has the disposable money, so now we're becoming more and more picky with what we buy.
Disney does.
So, no, Disney is an animal on itself. Because they're too big. Like, it's one of those things that's just like if they fail in one corner, they have another thing to make up for it in the other. You know, like they're not Warner Brothers where they just make entertainment. Like, they don't have a theme park. They don't have a fucking, things like that. Like, Disney has all kinds of other things they can make money on. So yeah, if they fail on this side, they're doing great on this side. That's the difference. But when you got Warner Brothers, that's why Warner Brothers is one of the ones that are coming out real loud and strong, because they're the ones really seeing it. Like, look, we're not getting any money out of this. Fucking Black Adam barely did anything. Barely people got off their asses to go see that movie. Yeah, it did. If Warner
Brothers puts it back together and comes up with just honest to goodness classic DC stories with Superman representing truth, justice, and the American way, and
well, that's what they got James Gunn, like you said. That's what they brought him here because that's what they want. They want to change what they had before. It's gonna take a while to get everything fixed, but hopefully James Gunn can do it.
Does that mean that are they still gonna release like stuff like the Flash?
Yeah.
Like
supposedly Flash is gonna be the one that restarts everything. It's going to be the thing that restarts it.
No, from what I saw today, it was supposed to be Black Adam was like the first one.
No, but
new series or whatever.
No, but the Flash is supposed to restart everything.
Jesus.
Yeah, but are they gonna? What about Ezra Miller's bullshit though? Pedophilia and all that.
If it comes out next year, people are gonna forget all about that. It's a whole different thing's gonna be happening by then. That's what he's been right now. He's low pro right now. You haven't heard anything about him because they have him under wraps right now.
Yeah, I was just curious to see what they've had in the pipelines.
Because they still have Blue Beetle that's gonna come out, which is still part of the old DCU. Same thing with Shazam. It's gonna come out, still part of Snyder's universe. So they still got to get rid of those movies until I doubt Shazam 2 is going to be super successful. Maybe Blue Beetle could be good, hopefully. But who knows? But
so do we know what's going to start the the reign of the gun. You know, do we know what?
He hasn't said
Where-
anything. They haven't. This
haven't
supposedly
said
this
that.
week
Okay.
was the week that they were gonna,
Lobo.
it was him and his partner were going to talk to the bigwigs and start doing their thing.
I want to see Lobo.
I do too.
Lobo's gonna be the start of the reign of the gun.
Oh, that would be dope.
I will show
You know,
up first day.
That is like the perfect cast.
That'll be a much better casting for Momoa than Arthur friggin' Curry.
Yeah, then. Yeah,
It makes sense.
I
yeah.
don't care who they replace him with because
You know who
He
they should
could
replace him?
be
replace him
Lobo.
with? The perfect Aquaman would be Anthony Starr from The Boys.
There you go. He would be
Yeah,
good.
he would.
Look exactly like
Yeah, he
Aquaman.
would.
the Homelander.
Yeah, the Homelander.
He would be good for that. Yeah.
Meh.
So we
I-
still have a few of the DC movies that are coming out. It's what? So it's just the Flash.
Just the Flash. There's only 3 movies left. That's the Flash, Blue Beetle, and Shazam.
And Aquaman.
Aquaman
about-
is, they don't. They're right now.
Aquaman?
You guys
on
think
the-
Joel Kinnaman would be a good Aquaman?
Joel
Who's
Kinnaman.
he?
Who's he?
He was Flag.
Oh, he was
Rick Flag?
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Anthony Starr's in his late 40s now, I think.
So
I don't think
He's
he would
not
do it. He's a badass. I don't see Aquaman as a badass like that. Like
I don't even care if they have another Aquaman. If we're gonna be honest,
Guy that talks to
let's
fish.
be
It's like
honest.
that
We
robot
weren't
chick
all
from
running to the
episode.
theaters for Aquaman.
Well, it should be.
I remember Steve camping out for Aquaman.
But look, I just I want you guys to steel yourselves, to strengthen yourself in your resolve, because next year Indy 5 comes out, and I promise you,
Oh my God.
it's gonna be so awful that you guys might murder yourselves.
listen.
I bet
next
you
year,
anything.
you guys
Dude, I've
right
never
now
even
that-
watched
that
Crystal
the bus
Skull,
is gonna love
so
it.
I'm
I
good.
bet you anything.
listen.
Right
listen.
now.
All of you guys are talking down about next year. What's coming out next year? Cocaine Bear. Okay, there's nothing better than that coming out. dude.
Hey there, boo boo. How about the bomb?
Cocaine Bear is like Santa's sleigh. Okay.
Exactly.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yes.
stupid.
Who's
Dude, I'm-
Sam Claflin?
Can you check it on the Google real quick?
Yeah, let me look it up.
But my thing is that the Indy 5 is gonna be like the Star Wars sequels, where Crystal Skull is content-wise more like the prequels. Right? You have this garbage movie, The Crystal Skull, and it's got like elements in it that make you think like, oh, this is Indy, but there's a lot of garbage in it that's useless. But Indy 5 is going to be destructive. It's going to be like The Last Jedi. I promise.
Nate's
Stop.
gonna love it. Nate's gonna
No,
love
just
that
stop,
fucking
stop.
movie.
Nate's gonna
I can already
feel
tell.
like a victim again.
Last
Be able to identify.
Jedi. Last Jedi was bad. Like, fucking. But so don't say that. I mean, Force
No.
Awakens. I'm down. I'll be like, all right.
I'm not telling you that to bring you down. I'm telling you that because that's what's coming.
Look, I told you. As long as I hear,
Josh Adonis here has like.
I'm gonna name right now the 5 things that need to be in it. Where I'll be like, it's an indie movie for me. 1, Harrison Ford. We got that. 2,
He's a fossil.
the Indiana Jones theme song. Okay, that if I hear that, if he does a whip and swings while it goes, bah, 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 that's another thing I need to hear. So it's the whip and the music mixed in together, and then we got to see him say one really cool line. Ooh, that's a good pick.
Hey, hey.
He was in
I'll pick
Peaky
him.
Blinders.
Hey,
Oh,
that's
okay, yeah.
Hunger Games.
Yeah, he was in Hunger Games.
Yeah,
He's
Hunger
also
Games,
trying
too.
to know-
Tricky. That's a good pick, Tricky.
He was kind of an Aquaman in Hunger
He
Games
was
too.
an Aquaman in Hunger Games.
Yeah, he had a trident and everything.
and then
Good choice.
Yeah.
it's got to have a reason why Mutt is not in the movie.
Who cares about Mutt? That's like
Yeah.
we have to have
Yeah.
a reason why Jar Jar is not in the movie. We don't care.
We don't
I
care.
care. I care for fucking continuity.
Get outta here.
God dang it! I want
Yeah,
to
but
hear what-
he goes through like sidekicks. Like, I mean, they never told us what happened to Short Round.
we didn't need to. He wasn't an integral part. This was his son. As soon as they said it was his son, you gotta fucking say, like, even in
He's
Willow.
off to college. Leave him alone.
Right, in Willow, even in Willow, they go, Mad Mardigan's gone on an adventure, so they address it. You know what I mean? They address. That's all I ask is you address what happened to Mutt. You say, hey, this guy. There you go. Mickey, just telling me, no, but yes, just tell me what happened to Mutt. That's all I need to know.
I hope
Mutt,
it crushes. I
Mutt
hope it
went
crushes
to
you, man.
India.
I hope this
Mutt
movie
went to
crushes you.
India and he was attacked by zombies.
Mutt,
No, they're going to.
Isaac, are you gonna put some of the Disney ones up on your next Lego whatnot sale?
Stop.
that's hot.
That's not right.
Oh, yeah.
Hiya, pal.
I'll play with my belly button while you do that.
No.
Some lint.
Sniff it. I have put some on the whatnot already. Some of the Disney ones.
I gotta figure out. There's like 3 I'm missing, and I don't remember which 3 they are.
I want those
I told
Muppet
you.
ones.
Tell me which ones.
I'll
I want
The
find
the
Muppet
Muppets.
ones I don't have doubles of. I only have the one single set. I
No.
only sell my doubles.
I saw his. I was at his house last time, and he had all the Lego out. Jesus Christ! Dear God, that living room was full. I was like, and I wasn't even all of it. There's still stuff in the on the garage. I was like, God damn!
Well, if whenever wants to sell the gold ones, let me know.
I asked her, I was like, Liz wants your gold ones. Can I sell them to her? And she's all, no. And then I gave her the ones that you gave me, Fuzzy. And she's all, one's missing. I went, what? She's all, one's missing. I'm all, what are you talking about, one's missing? She's all, tell him one's missing. I was like, okay.
Well, I still got a pile left of Harry Potter, so I don't know if it's I'll send you a picture later tonight and you show it to her. If she wants one of them, they're hers.
She's wild, man.
Oh,
Never
man.
happy. I was like, fucking A, dude, just be happy. Instead, it's one's missing. Not a thank you. Not a you're the best, Dad. It's what the fuck is this? I'm $1 short.
It's like when I got the pucks for your son. He's like,
Yeah, for Grayson.
does she have
He's
more?
all, you have more?
Oh, you
And I've
lost
heard
me.
that Sue Storm.
No.
Oh, tricky.
No.
You had a good one in the first one.
Yeah, no.
Come
It's
on,
fine,
brother.
dude. She'll disappear and we won't see her throughout the whole movie. And they'll
But
just
you still gotta
there.
hear her voice, dude. I don't want to hear her
Yeah.
voice, dude. The only one that movie she's good in is Drive Angry because the movie's meant to be bad. So
What about
You
Pineapple
see that
Express?
the ruins?
Is pretty good in
Was it
Pineapple
the ruins or the
Express.
relic where they go like to that?
The Ruins, yeah. No, I barely liked that movie. I was mad. That was another one that hurt me.
I liked her in Scott Pilgrim. That's because she was hardly in it, and she was supposed to play a bitch, and so she looked the part.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
that's Audrey Plaza.
What's the name of that actress that you like that was in the Best in Show and she was Effie? What's her name?
Oh, she plays the new Rita Repulsa.
Oh, and she directed Cocaine Bear. What's her name?
Yeah, she's
Yeah, Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth
Elizabeth
I
Banks
love her.
should
Oh
be-
yeah, Elizabeth
Every-
Banks is good.
She should be
Yeah.
Sue Storm.
Dude.
Yeah, Elizabeth Banks is pretty old.
She's
though,
old
to be Sue
already.
Storm.
Yeah, but
She's
but
old.
you want an older,
She was in Slither.
older Reed Richards.
She's
You
like
want
a
that.
gilf
And-
now.
She was Betsy Brand in the first Spider-Man.
You guys forget that she directed the reboot of Charlie's Angels. So there's always that. Remember that, dude. Like she did Pitch Perfect.
She's old.
Yeah.
No, but you're having her as an actor. So you bring her into Sue Storm. You bring in Krasinski as Reed Richards. They're probably in the same age range. It's going to work.
Why not just have Suzanne
I
Summers?
think she's older. I think she's older than him.
Yeah, she's way older than
Yeah.
him.
No, you need
Good to Gil.
to get
Great
levity
grandmother.
to get momentum out of their actors, I think they want to go a little younger because that way they could keep them a little longer. Like, you know, because you don't want
True.
by the time the third movie comes along, they are grandparents. And
Fucking grandparents.
They're gonna throw their dentures at you like the denture rings.
Yeah, stretch out his dentures and shit at you. And, I mean,
when I found out that she was the director of Cocaine Bear, I went, "This is gonna be a stellar movie." Like already, I was in, but when I found out she was directing it, I'm like, "Yep, that's it." I'm down.
And it's Ray Liotta's last movie he made.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, you know what I mean?
What a way to go.
No wonder he died.
It's based on a real
Okay, I was
bear.
taking
Pablo
taking
if
bumps with
if I
bears.
can get a movie theater to rent for cheap enough, I swear to God, I'm going to do it. And you guys
You
are
can.
more
Hey,
than
you
welcome.
can, Fuzzy.
I know,
did it.
but
we did it.
not
That's
but
fine.
cheap enough. Cheap. Do you hear the word I said? Cheap enough. And
You
you know,
said
Fuzzy,
you know,
cheap,
you won't be able to do that. There's
cheap,
no cheap enough.
He's looking for crackhead motel cheap.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing like that.
Have it like local here.
Fuzzy wants to rent the theater out and just sit down and laugh out loud like.
Yeah, that's not. You'll never find somewhere cheap here.
I want to go watch Cocaine Bear with you, Fuzzy.
I know, me too.
We're gonna, yeah, I'm down, dude. Like, I'm so down. We'll film it, dude. Like, I'll get busted for filming it.
Speaking of a date, August 25th at SoFi Stadium, Metallica and Pantera.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna go. I'm not wasting my money. I'd spend my money on WrestleMania. That's not even really Pantera. So fuck it. You know that's like Rome was Sublime. Like it doesn't like that's not.
Oh,
Pantera.
Geez,
that's horrible.
No, it's not.
It's
It's
bad.
not the same as Rome.
It's bad.
It's not. It's not.
Rome
it's
was
not,
Sublime
it's not,
is bad.
It's not that bad.
I'm
not defending Rome was Sublime. I'm saying Pantera isn't as bad because you still get the singer.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be the same. Like it's not.
Have you seen it?
I don't.
If you have the
I'm not paying the money. Nope.
Well, I mean, if you have the singer, it shouldn't be that bad.
And it's not just
But
Pantera.
you don't have Diamond.
Dimebag.
Yeah.
Yes, you need him, dude.
Where's the
You
next?
need Dustin Diamond there.
So it's like we're talking about the Smiths, basically, right?
Yeah.
Morrissey and what's his name? Yeah.
Like it just like
Johnny Moore.
I was gonna do it because I want to take the boys.
We're gonna go see Depeche Mode in March.
I
Did you
might
not
be
see
in the
them?
same show. Nate, I might show up.
Yeah, dope, dude.
that.
Yeah, dude, and it's
When's
still
that
Depeche
show?
Mode.
In March.
March.
In Anaheim, right?
I'm not sure. My buddy bought tickets for my birthday.
I think it's for the Honda Center.
I got in trouble the last time I went to a Depeche Mode because I kept walking around trying to touch Faith, and they got mad because no girls were named Faith.
What
you
the
were trying to
fuck
touch
is
Faith.
wrong with you?
Oh, I thought it was. See, I always thought it was a girl named Faith, so I was walking around grabbing girls. Are you Faith? Are you Faith? No, and like that, just getting slapped in the face.
Hey, when you mentioned WrestleMania, where's the next WrestleMania gonna be? I heard it's coming to Nashville.
I think that's like in a year.
That's next year's, not
Yeah.
this
Next
year.
year.
That's not
Yeah.
2023. That's 2024.
That might-
2023. It's here, baby.
You have to come out and see it because that's just like an hour away from me, and that'll be my first WrestleMania.
Dude,
It
I'm
might
down.
be cheaper too.
Yeah, I know. It's not gonna be no LA fucking price either, dude. Like, but that's what I mean. Like when I saw the
I don't know,
nosebleeds
man.
for-
Nashville's pretty expensive out there in
Well, we
that
have-
big old
You can
arena.
stay at I have a huge place. You can just stay and crash on out here. You guys
Road
will get
trip.
fall asleep anyway.
Road trip.
Road
I've always
trip.
wanted to see what the perfect ass looked like when he slept.
Well, it's not so perfect when he sleeps.
There it is.
Man.
Where's my
Hey,
button? Start flinging.
Get him! Get him!
It's a perfect 10. It's a perfect 10.
There's Faith. There's Faith
That's-
right there.
That's for yeah. There you go.
Oh shit, dude. No, I'm dying to do the I was pissed because I was trying to do that that they had that like bootleg smoke out tour that came through here in Ontario, and I wanted to go, but I'm like, every show I go to now, I want to take the kids with me, and I don't want to take my kids to a fucking, stoner show and shit. So that's why Metallica I thought about, but I was like, fuck, they're almost as expensive as fucking WrestleMania tickets. I was like, if I have to choose between the two, I'm taking them to WrestleMania.
So when are you gonna buy the tickets? Because you haven't told me and Isaac when.
I'm still waiting to get money. Full sales suck right now and whatnot, dude. Like, they're horrible.
Even your Lego sales?
No, Legos have been doing good. I've been doing good, but I fucking had to reinvest it in. I bought a huge lot of fucking like minifigs, like a pound and a half of minifigs. So I'm digging through them right now. So but I found some cool ones, dude. But I still haven't found any that I want. Like, found some Indiana Jones and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, these are cool. Some stormtroopers, but nothing.
This is what I use when I'm looking for minifigs. Like when I'm trying to like piece them together. When I find like a bunch of them, I have a minifig.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, I have
Little-
one of those. I have a couple different ones.
It tells you like
Like
all the like pretty good.
That's dope.
Got
I
it
gotta
at the
get
thrift
one of
store.
those. So
they have like a Star Wars one. They have like a Harry Potter one.
Harry Potter one. They have a city one and a
Yeah.
people one.
see the city one. I got a bunch of these crazy looking city ones the other day. I was like, what the heck is this? But I've put a lot of money into bringing the Lego show back up because that's the only thing making money right now. So, I still got my books, but like tomorrow I'm doing a show for comics, and I'll be happy if I clear $100.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
And how long are you on there when you're doing your comic shows?
Like 2 hours. So I mean, it's not a great fucking return. That's why I had to stop giving away the slabs as prizes because
Not worth it.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't. I would have to stay on for like 6 hours just to get. I mean, speaking of which, can we talk about NERDYCON?
Okay, I was gonna say if you didn't segue,
Let me see
I
if
was
I can
gonna
find a.
Oh damn!
Dude,
Hold on. Let out segue real quick.
oh my god, that was so fucking sad.
Where was it? Was it?
It was in
Orlando.
Florida, baby.
Florida
baby.
at the Universal
At
Studios,
the
like
Hilton,
Yeah.
or some
Okay.
shit.
So I haven't seen any new videos come out about it yet. I was hoping.
The only video I saw was
Two
Was
videos.
the video
Remember,
that you
Isaac, we
guys
saw
put
two
up.
videos.
Yeah, there was,
the after party.
dude.
I want to see those videos. Send me the links if you have the links.
This was my favorite thing about the
These
after
were just
party.
straight out on Instagram.
Okay.
This one guy, no, this guy was on Whatnot at the after party, the Ninja Funk after party, like this. What's up, guys? Yeah, dude, I'm at this party. Oh my god, hey, what's up, dude? What's up? What's going on? How you doing, man? Oh, you should see I look weird walking around here with this cat, but we're gonna be doing this, blah blah blah. And he's literally he's acting like there's 50,000 people there, and I bet you there was like 10 people in the background.
Isaac, did you post that video on our group, Isaac?
I put it on our chat.
On our chat. You saw it, right? Nick?
I have to go back and see it again.
I didn't see the
I didn't see
guy,
the link.
the after party. I saw the actual show.
We counted 15 people on the after party,
That's counting the
Dude,
people
there was-
behind the booth.
and that was
The
including
G.I. Joe
DJs.
convention I went to. There was like 400 people in a teeny ass room. It was off the chain. It was way better than NERDYCON, dude.
Dude, it was the part that made me laugh was I went on to 2 streams, right? And it's it's Comic Lounge, and he's sitting there like this, putting up the books, and in the background you hear, oh my god, and it's Nerdy Girl on another fucking stream. So you're listening to like 3 other streams because everyone was on top of each other, and that was like her big thing was that everyone could stream. I'm like, literally after the first day, everyone was doing it from their hotel rooms. And I was like, that sucks, dude. That's so sad.
Jeez.
Those dudes that yell do well on Whatnot.
Then you haven't
I don't know
been
about
on my
Fuzzy.
show
Fuzzy.
because
Yeah.
that's all I do is yell. So.
Yeah,
Not me, man. I saved my voice.
but that they were hyping it up so much. Comic Tom hyped it up like crazy, and yeah, it was just not.
What were you saying about like the packages that they were selling, where you can do like an hour on the Whatnot
Oh, yeah.
stage or whatever the fuck?
They she was offering packages. They rented a hotel room with all the stuff already ready to go for Whatnot, and so you could get a package for an hour and be like, one first hour Fuzzy, second hour Liz, and so on and so on. And they were selling those packages hourly, sections also, because you want to hang out with the other awesome influencers that are
Influencers.
with them and stuff. So yeah, they were doing all that. Plus, they were hyping up because there was supposed to be, in her view, there was supposed to be a lot of people showing up, right? So it was supposed to be super big. So that's what she was hyping up the after party, because it was gonna be crazy big. But when we were seeing the after party video, it was like 15 people.
But I'm telling you, the one guy that was streaming on Whatnot, he was like, he wouldn't let you see what was behind him. Like, I was like dying. Like, he was selling it as if it was the biggest party that ever happened. And I was like,
and I mean, I give her props that she tried to do her own thing, right? But the way she did it, and the way just the way that she had it done, it wasn't gonna work. Her format was not gonna work at all, in my opinion, and it showed that it did not work. I mean, even like what Nate said, Nate went to his G.I. Joe con and had more people. I went this past weekend to a signing, and it looked like this little signing that I went had more people than the con altogether. Those 2-day con. So I mean, and we were, we went to go see Ben Templesmith, and it seems like he had more people there than the actual big con of NERDYCON.
Dude, the G.I. Joe con I went to, I did a video for LA Comic Con, and I did a video for my Frank and Sons visit. I did a video for Ontario Comic Con. It's been the little G.I. Joe con, the video I put out for it. I've got, let me see. This shit's the fucking hit of the month besides Indian movies.
There's a lot of people that like G.I. Joe stuff.
591 views in less than a day. That's just the greatest hit since India for this channel, dude.
Well, no, but like the one thing that this proves, though, if anything, is that they aren't as big as they thought they were.
Yeah, well, I mean,
isn't it about the stuff?
You kind of see that in like with the Ninja Funk and the numbers that are selling through on publishing book, on the books that they're publishing. None of those numbers just aren't. They're the company that believe their own hype, and they're kind of like Bad Idea. Bad Idea is the same thing. They did it, that publishing house. They're the same ones. They hype up their own stuff, and they think that they're all that, and they are. When you've got a bunch of people telling them that you are, but all those it's the same people, it's the same 10 people that are telling you, you're great, you're great, you're great. Oh shit, I must be great. You know what I mean? No. They're just a flash in the pan, and they put their stuff out, and they did it too much, and now a big corporation like eBay is going to glom them up and do the same thing but better.
Well, Tricky Trapster commented that he was the first artist drawing live and whatnot, and the first 100 selling comics, and the app is off the chain. I think it is off the chain for the creators. I think folks that are selling, that are trying to hype the product, I think the app is dying for the rest of us.
Yeah, like the people that started.
Dude, Rob Liefeld he quit doing the concert.
Yeah. Did he make
Rob
made
see Kevin Smith today? Kevin Smith and Jay Muse were on there today for the 12 Days of Christmas. Everything they were selling, they had Ben Affleck signed stuff. They had all kinds of stuff selling. Everything, nothing sold for under $100 and something bucks. Like I get that. Like they have the name, but like before when we would go on Whatnot, it was your show that sold it, or whatever
personality.
Yeah, exactly. The people did, but then once everyone else started coming on and fucking, taking up the numbers, people been telling me, like I told you, they come up to me on the, told me at cons that we've done, like, hey, Fuzzy, we love, I love listening to your show and stuff like that, but I'm just done with the whatnot scene. Like I can't, it's not worth it to me. And I'm like, I get it, dude. Like, I'm not gonna talk you out of it, but like if you can get a signed copy from your creator or the artist that you like, straight from there, of course you're gonna do good. I've even been on there and bought stuff like that. I'm not, I do it too, but it sucks for someone like me trying to sell comics now that I'm going into the Lego side, which I knew, this much about, and now I'm starting to know more about it because I'm selling and learning on it and shit like that. So, I mean, and there's no Lego influencer. You know what I mean? There's no,
There
nothing.
is. There is Lego influencers.
Yeah, there are. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them I follow, and
Yeah.
they're on there too.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, even with them on there, they're not
taking it all up.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
With the creators getting on here, especially like the comic artists, comic writers that are putting out their content and people are buying from them directly. How do you guys think that there's going to be any impact to them showing up at conventions? Because it seems to me like this is do what they do at conventions, but like every day directly to the fans.
They have to be really big. I'm thinking for it to be that way, like a Raw Liefeld, like a Jim Lee, like those type of names.
That's not necessarily true because David Boer, the guy who created Kanto, he's doing hand over, Drew Zucker, those two guys that with their Kanto stuff, they've even gone so far as to creating their own card sets. Boxes of cards and things like that. Not even just so they're doing that, and they're doing, and statues. They're commissioned their own statues to sell on whatnot, and pins and like all kinds of other merch that goes with it. And that was his claim to fame for a long time was Kanto, and that's not widely popular or well known.
Well, I mean, he might be a little bit popular because he also hangs out with those other influencers because he knows, JP, and then he also knows, Comic Tom and them. But for me, like Kanto, like it's not nowhere near like Rob, which he's already saying that he doesn't do it. He's not gonna do no more cons or less cons now that with whatnot, because dude, the money.
Why do a con? You don't even have to travel.
The money he makes on that thing, Jesus Christ, it's crazy.
He just does a bump of coke and fucking starts doodling on the fucking thing and just let me tell you about it. I love it, dude. Like it's fucking the greatest show to watch. I don't even want to buy anymore. I just want him to talk and shit, dude. But again, he's putting on a show. Like there's some people that are just putting up. Like I was watching some guys today that were putting up slabs, and none of them went for over $40.
Oh no, it's hard right now.
Yeah, like it's just it's all around. I think people are.
That's why I'm buying 9.8s right now because they're so cheap, and people are selling them for super cheap. It's time to buy.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I don't know. I feel a little bad for NERDYCON, but I just like it because it's proof that they ain't as big as they thought they was.
And these local cons, even the small ones are getting better and better. More people they're having. Even the Pasadena cons are just getting better. The one that
Ontario,
the Ontario one's getting amazing people on there. I don't know what kind of guests were at the GI Joe, but I bet that's getting better and bigger. So all these small I'm loving these local small cons that are coming up. It's awesome because it's not that expensive for us to go in, and we don't have to have a room or anything like that. We just go in and come out.
No, it was cool. I'm kind of ashamed that I hadn't been to a GI Joe con before that, just considering that I'm a big GI Joe.
That was your first one?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's always some kind of a GI Joe representative at different cons, but one
You
exclusive.
never
from
got
some
the
shadows.
exclusive one.
Yeah, no.
Did you
Like,
get any exclusives?
Yeah, actually, I got two of them. I got the Starduster exclusive. It's
The 6-inch
yeah.
from the classified line? Oh snap.
Can you put it on your own window, like the whole window,
Yeah, let's
so we
see.
can see it?
Dope. Yeah, I recently got rid of all my G.I. Joes on whatnot.
Yeah, that's nice.
That was cool.
Yeah, they're selling for like $350 right now on eBay.
Nice.
Yeah, I sold the couple of classified ones on eBay I had, and I got good money. I was like, holy shit, like way more than I paid for them.
I'm also seeing slowly more signings are coming up here in the local shops of artists and writers are actually coming to our you used to be back in the day, way back in the day, that's how we all met. There were so many signings back in the day with Fat Collectibles, Beach Ball, and everybody else that for us it was amazing because we were just jumping back and forth, and that's how we all met here, and then of course it all dried up for a while, except for the cons. But now it seems like a lot of the smaller shops, well, Golden Apple's not small, but they're bringing back
The
all these signings already, and like Golden Apple and a bunch of other stores up in the LA area.
Collector's Paradise.
Perky
Yeah,
Nerd,
Pasadena.
and a bunch of other ones. I forgot what Cat's comic book shop's name is, but he's also bringing people down there. And now Fist Comics is that's where I went this past weekend for Ben Templesmith, which he was doing $20 quick sketches. They're pretty good, and that's their third show.
I think that's the key. I think that's the key, man. Go to a little show, and there's like not too many people in there, so they're not getting crazy long lines and jocked like crazy. And if you go up to them as a fan, and they can actually tell, they know who they know if you're a fan or not just by talking to you. If you just like know them for some pop bullshit, or you've been in it following them for the long haul, and if they can tell you're a real fan, they'll hook you up with some good shit, man.
Yeah, Ben Templesmith was pretty awesome. That guy was pretty cool as hell. And yeah, like you said, we were there. Me and Dunn were there, hanging out and talking to him for a while. We got 2 sketches each, and yeah, it was a good time. And I think the next one they're gonna have is Scott. I hope I said it correctly. Scott Koblish.
Okay, yeah.
Anthony Ray Height and someone, I forgot the third person. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, but this is like the third one. They did Dan Panosian as the first one, and then the second one was Rubenstein. So it's some pretty good signings coming up.
I got a really good sketch from Rubenstein at Pasadena Con, and yeah, at a decent price too. And it was like a comic page board too, because Lego and I had to go. I'm sorry, Gambit.
Okay.
I had to go. They didn't have any blanks at the show, so we went walking on the streets to like a comic shop, and they didn't have any fucking blanks. So we went to like this art store and bought like a whole book of like comic book pages, and we took a page out of it and gave it to him to draw the sketch for me, and I gave the book to Lego, I think, with the rest of the pages.
I know the Pasadena Con's gonna be coming up. The winter edition is gonna be in, I think, February, and they have like Norm Rapman and a bunch of other people out there. So I might just show up because I think it's only like $10 to get in.
Yeah, they've got like stipulations and different things, like except for WonderCon in San Diego, I've been able to get into all the cons on press passes, so that's been cool. Especially when I can when I show the give them links of videos I've done, just like walking through the cons and kind of pimping the cons out. They really like those. Like, they've gotten back to me a couple times about like just that I'm not just going and hanging out in a hall, or, like things like that. San Diego, they want you to hang out in the hall, but in these ones, they like it that you're going around and kind of having
interacting with
yeah.
the people there.
I just saw your one, Isaac, the one that you were uploading, the Comic Cave one, the wrap up of LA Comic Con. That was pretty good.
No, thanks. Only took me a few hours.
Oh, I know. I saw that. You were dumb.
I'm done.
Yeah, but it's I'm happy that the local shops are starting to get more and smaller cons are starting to get these big guests, and I can't wait for Ontario Comic Revolution.
That's in May, huh?
Yeah, and they just added Kenneth Rockeforth again. I'm like, sweet. I'm gonna get.
Was it in May last year?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a sketch by him.
They got Dean Cain. I'm getting my Superman books signed.
I knew you were gonna go for that one.
You're damn right, dude. I'm excited. Hey, I don't care. Any person that's played Superman signing something for me, damn it, dude. I love the X on the chest.
I'm gonna get him to sign some NRA magazines for me or some cool shit like that.
I thought about doing who did he play? He didn't play Joey Buttafuoco. He played someone like that, like a famous. It was like a lifetime.
Oh, he played
movie.
fucking what's his name? He played Scott Peterson.
That's it, dude. I was gonna try to find like a Scott Peterson thing and have him
The
sign
DVD
it.
or the buy the novel that the sister wrote, My Brother the Monster.
Yeah, there you go. Dude, back you sign this for me, dude.
It's so funny you guys bring up Dean Cain. I just watched his Criminal Minds episode where he's like the guy that was like abducting all the women and ripping out.
Oh, you know what? Dude's gonna end up passing away because we're talking about him.
Yeah, shit, dude. Shut up.
No.
Don't jinx it, dude. Don't jinx it, dude. I need my Superman fucking things done, dude.
Another
Hey,
Superman
you know what?
lost.
I might just get a Superman pop just to get it signed by him.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Not
why
a bad
not,
idea.
dude? Like, I'm pissed off because I got my Jesse Spano fucking pop sitting there. And
Oh
fucking,
yeah, she no call no showed.
she didn't even show up.
Damn.
I got a fucking stupid.
Where was that at?
At fucking LA. He was
Yeah.
supposed to be at LA, and Nick's walking around with the pop, and he's like, "Man, she fucking didn't show, man. I'm so pissed."
That was the whole reason why I went.
He's did you buy the package too?
Yep.
What
They
day
gave
did
me
you
my money
go?
back.
Did you get
Friday.
some money back?
Yeah, they gave me my money back. I got Friday and Saturday, and it wasn't a lie. It was only like $40, and I was like, oh fuck it, dude, I'll get a pop. And I was gonna get a comic. They had a Saved by the Bell comic, but I was like, no, I'm gonna wait until like at least two of them are there. If like Zach and her are there, like then I'll be like, okay, I'll get them both signed to sign it, and then I'll grade it. But like I was like, fuck a pop, like just get it, put it on the wall, like it's signed. Like I have my Mike Tyson glove in there, just just sitting there, signed by. Dude, do you see how much it was going for at fucking LA Comic Con?
No.
Like they had that silent auction going on in the back, and it was all sports memorabilia. And one of them was the exact glove I had, signed by Mike Tyson. It was the auction was up to $700. When I walked by, I was like, "Damn, dude!" I was like, in my head, I didn't even pay a third of that price.
But we all know you're gonna go. We all know, but if you put it out there, Fuzz, you're only gonna get $100.
That's true. That's my dumb luck, dude. Because fucking, I'll be
You're
like,
such an asshole, Steve.
it's because I got Steve Juju all through my house. Dude.
Now,
Fucking-
don't blame me.
I do blame you, dude.
I always
Fucking
I'm the one that makes the
gargoyle.
money.
Nah, yeah.
I'm the one that makes the money.
Gargoyle.
Fucking scare off the customers. And shit.
Yeah, the guy that made $1,700 last time.
That's
Scare the
I was
customer.
sitting next to him.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that much.
Yeah,
content.
because you brought the
Hey,
old
and he
geezer.
still didn't buy his Korean barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. See, supposedly, I think Nando should get a refund because you technically made, because that was the deal. Who made the most? You should be buying us shots. You see?
No, because he won. What are you talking about?
But you were second, so
Yeah, no.
Let's not talk
And of
about
course,
Breaking Bad.
you're the dead last over there, loser.
I never said I wasn't. That's why I didn't fucking. I was like, oh, I don't know, dude. I don't know. So I never said I was the winner.
Who wants to be the winner when you're the one who has to buy everybody's shit?
Exactly.
No, I wouldn't mind if I made that much as Nando. I wouldn't care.
No,
Nando was the king.
Yeah, he was, dude. He was the king of near mint.
He was the king of near mint that day.
I got a show coming up in Upland on Saturday with Tom, and I'm literally just bringing all my books except for
you and Old Man Comic Tom doing another show together.
Yep, and I'm gonna put out all the books at pretty much $1 to fucking $3, except for certain books and shit like that.
Is that when is
You gotta
Dean
rework
is
your shit
Dean,
to like
White
Fuzzy and the
there?
Mummy.
Fuzzy and the Bubby? What happened, Steve?
Is that the one that oh no, that's you're going to Upland. You're not going. Oh, is that the
It's the outdoor one we went to. That one that.
Oh yeah, okay, it's not the same one. Never
Is
mind.
it a Saturday or a Sunday?
Saturday. I'm gonna just go there to get rid of filler stuff, and I have a bunch of toys that I can't get rid of, so just gonna fucking get rid of them up there. And Liz, I'm going through my Garbage Pail Kids inside the putting them in order, so I know which ones I have and I don't have. But it's like 5 I don't have. So if you have those 5, I will swap with you, dude, because I'm like right there. I got the 2 names and everything to go with it. And
Yeah, let me know which ones, and if I have them, I'll definitely send them to you.
But then I might have to buy another box from you guys because I want to make the puzzles in the back. That's all it makes me want to do is build the goddamn puzzles and fucking put them in a frame and shit, dude.
They
Like,
got you.
They did.
They
Okay.
got you.
They
Well,
Goodness
it's like all the books. It's like all like the Very Hungry Caterpillar, but it's like Alien, where it's like
Yeah.
madness. And
It's
like,
fun, dude. They're cool, dude. I was like, I forgot why I love these things.
Pasadena Comic Con, January 29th.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Well, we're going to Arizona, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that one I want to go to. I already talked to a couple people out there, and they told us afterwards if we wanted to go party and stuff. So we'll be.
So
videoing
what's the
that.
whole plan?
We're going. We just got.
I like how you
I mean,
start
if you leave
breaking
it up
up
to
when
me-
he's talking plans. He's like,
Well, see, I'm gonna-
okay.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and do some of it for the 12th time, But we're gonna keep
Have you guys already bought your tickets or no?
and jump into the car. But then if I get the rooms
No.
for about
When are you gonna buy your ticket, Isaac?
Oh,
$20,
no. It's a $20 show.
God, that was so
Because
good.
I saw the last thing, and it said that tickets are running low.
I'm not worried.
well, if we got to buy tickets, well, aren't you gonna try to get a press pass or whatever?
I don't think that show has press.
I don't
pass.
think it has one.
What show?
It's
the
the Arizona
Comic
Fest.
Yeah.
Well, we'll buy our tickets. I'll buy my tickets this
Where
week
is-
for that.
Where is it happening and when?
Hold on.
February 25th in Arizona. I don't know what part of Arizona.
I'm looking at it.
Are you guys gonna meet us out there?
Arizona Comic Book Fest. 25th. It's close to the airport.
It's in Phoenix.
I think so. Mitch Gerard's gonna be there. Derek Robertson, Andrew McLean, Alexis Serret. Where's the fucking?
Derek Robertson, didn't he do like a bunch of the covers for the boys? And
Yeah.
He did the boy. He did the art for the boys.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna be at the Phoenix Shrine Auditorium.
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Is that Phoenix?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's close to that shop that you like, Fuzzy. That's not that far away from the one that
That's
they had the dollar books and it was all nice and neat.
Tucson.
I know.
Oh, nice. I know
They
that.
got
Yeah,
some stuff, though.
that's that. You know what? You know that hotel I was telling you about that I stayed at that was real nice and I was shocked.
Yeah.
That's where that is.
Like that, remember, it was all the kind of like the college, kind of like a bunch
Yeah.
Of, yeah.
I'll look.
It's
I'll
close
look.
by.
I'll look and see if that place is available. Like, cause it was cheap and it was fucking hella nice. Like, cause it was like remodeled and stuff. So.
Well, the Hilton right across it's not even that expensive either.
See, there you go. You said the Hilton, dude.
I already checked it out.
What do you want to go to NERDYCON, dude? What's this, dude? What?
I'm just
He
saying,
wants
it's
to
pretty
go
cheap.
What?
in, nerdy girl.
Let me hook you guys up with a true fuzzy experience out in Arizona. I'll take you to the greatest crackhead motels you've ever stayed in.
Oh,
Let me tell you
Jesus
what you get.
Christ.
I want to go to
And-
the nice
and
one
have-
you were talking about.
No thanks.
Why not, dude? Let's go to the crackhead one.
Fuck
Dude.
that.
I want to go to the
Safety
nice
in
one.
numbers.
I don't want to
That's
go.
what I'm saying.
I don't want to go to the crackhead.
Fuck no.
Like this.
Oh man.
Why are you making me do this?
Did I ever tell you about the guy when I went out drinking with everyone over there, and I go back to my room, and it's one of those ones that's like the Psycho Motel, where it's like the fucking just the long like rooms. There's nothing
The
above
stretch up.
Yeah, it's just like, and you park in front and go inside and shit. And so I pull up and I'm fucking toasted, like just drunk as shit. And I'm walking in like stumbling, and you can't smoke in the room. So I go outside of my door and I'm sitting there like this, just smoking. And this guy walks up to me and goes, "Hey, some guy said my books are in your room." And I just was like, this fucking guy, and just kept smoking this shit. He's all, "This guy's fucked up." And like they were like planning, like as if I couldn't hear them, like how to fucking jack me. So I just flicked my cigarette up and I went, "See you later." And I walked in my room and shut the door. And they were like, "What the fuck?" I scared crackheads, dude. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, you keep doing
I'll
that.
protect,
you
I'll
keep
protect
doing
you
that.
guys, dude. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
it's okay.
Don't
You
worry
keep
about it.
I'd rather
When you're
go
with
to
the
college,
crackheads, I'll
the
be a nice
college
little
one.
hotel.
Fine,
Well,
dude. I'll
college
look at the
one.
college one. You guys suck, dude. No fun.
We have the fuzzy shield of protection.
That's right, dude. This fur will
But we
spread
also
to
have
you.
the goblin curse.
That's
Oh.
true. That's
So
true.
they cancel each other
We don't
out.
know
Now the
which one.
crackheads get
We don't
through.
know which one we'll get. It'll be like a fucking Russian roulette.
Because don't go off of Goblin Man's picks for Hilton's, because I told you the last one. I don't know what that was the
No,
name of the.
that hotel was good. It's sorry that you
the next
attract
block. I didn't
crackheads
attract a
and
block,
addicts
dude. It's
all the
literally,
time.
you went like this, dude. You walked out the front door and you went crackheads. It wasn't even like it wasn't even
No,
like,
it wasn't like that.
It was the whole most.
No.
It was Skid Row in fucking
Every time
Arizona.
I walk
dude. Like,
out,
I swear
nothing.
to God, I
The
went
only
walk.
time that this guy walks
That's
out,
where the naked man came running at me and screaming, dude. You know what I mean? Fucking, I'm telling you, dude,
Naked man.
It was some scary. I saw a dick flapping everywhere. It was insane, dude. Like I was traumatized. I walked in. I looked at Steve. I was like, "This is supposed to be the nice fucking neighborhood, really?"
yeah,
Really?
it's only
A lady-
you. When you
lady
walk by
scream-
yourself, you always get all these crackheads together and hang out with each other.
They're scared of
Yeah.
you. They run. They just, I hope
No.
you use a shield, like fucking warding them off. To
No,
cross to vampires and shit.
they know they can smell you when you go to Arizona. Oh, the king of crackheads is here.
No, the king
No.
of Buddha.
King of crack.
The king of Buddha's here,
I
dude.
was like, let's go talk to this guy.
He's a happy motherfucker. He's fuzzy.
The king of crackheads is here. Let's go. Oh. Oh. Oh.
They're taking for the.
wow.
You can apply for press passes at PasadenaCon already.
Oh, cool. That's a Saturday or a Sunday or the weekend?
It's only
It's a
one day,
Sunday.
no? It's a Sunday.
A
Yeah, it's a
Sunday?
1-day Sunday.
Yeah.
You mind sending me that link?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty cool show for the Pasadena one. Just to hang out. It's a Sunday, so it's not really that crazy.
Now I gotta do a search to see what the updated ones are around here, because there's actually a bunch of the small ones out in this area too, like Nashville, Knoxville.
Oh yeah.
Between here, there's a bunch of just small, but they're themed usually. So one's like a comic, one there's an anime, then there's like a video game one, and
I bet there's a lot of hidden gold over there.
You know, I saw a thing that popped up in my feed the other day. I think it was one of these little conventions. It was called TrashCon, and all they had was profit.
Oh,
You son of a bitch!
I did not expect that.
You son of a bitch! I did not expect that.
Remember we were talking about
Fucking-
jokes
oh.
on the T-ball that was fucking pitched at you at 90 miles an hour.
I
You
didn't even
fucking
see it
knocked the
coming.
fuck out the
I did
park,
not
dude.
see that
was
coming.
great,
Thanks a
dude.
lot,
That
you
was
bastard.
awesome.
That was good.
That was a good
so
one.
good.
That
Came
was
through
good,
my
dude.
feet.
you even had me going. I'm like, really? TrashCon? I didn't hear about that one.
You bastard!
Got him. You got him.
Got him.
Oh man, that was good, honey. You might get lucky for that one.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That's very good. Very good. I like that
You
one.
bastard.
they got vendor spots available still too.
Send me that link also, yeah, on my messenger, Nathan.
Yeah.
No, old man Comic Tom was trying to get me to be a vendor there, but I mean, it's a day show.
I don't. Yeah, don't
Yeah,
even do it, Nick.
I don't want
Don't
to.
even do it. Just go hang out.
I just hang out with everybody, even if I got to pay for it. Like, it's fine, dude.
It's only $10.
Because that's all the cons. That's all cons have been for me lately. Like going to get stuff signed and stuff like that. It's just not. It's not worth it anymore unless I really, really, want to do it and shit. It just doesn't.
Thank
bring,
you.
It doesn't bring the fun that it used to have anymore. So.
It's because
I
you're
just hang
working,
out.
dude.
Yeah, you're
No,
working.
yeah.
That's why, dude.
When we
It's
did
still fun for
Ontario
me.
last year, I was like, fuck, man, I want to go walk around, but I couldn't.
Well, no, even at LA Con, like I had fun with you guys. You know what I mean? Like I didn't care about anything else there. Like you saw, I didn't buy anything. Like there was nothing I wanted. The only time I spent money was when Captain Asshole over here got my kids to fucking want to buy shit. And,
Oh yeah, he was telling me he was getting your kids to make you buy all this shit.
yeah, I was
What a
like, I don't want
jerk.
to buy. I was like, what a fucking dick, dude. But like, other than that, like there was nothing. The only thing I thought was those hats we saw. I was like, oh, I like these hats and shit. Like I'd buy that. But
And then you saw the price, you're like, fuck that.
yeah, I was
What
like,
was it?
$40.
That's not that bad.
I'll make one myself. Sons of bitches.
I like your videos, Isaac, with your creator videos. Those are cool.
Oh, thanks. We've got another one in the works right now, and then we're supposed to be talking to another creator this coming Sunday.
Cool. Yeah, I get all
Yeah.
excited. Ooh, who are they gonna get now?
So yeah, we're getting the artist from Sea of Sorrows coming up next week, or this
Oh, nice.
end of this week. We
That
met him thanks to the Spider-Man booth. He had him there, and I was like, "Holy shit, what are you doing here?" And I guess they flew him out, and we got talking, and we're talking about all his books and his art, and we're just like, we're looking at his profile, and we're like, "Dang, dude, he doesn't even have as many followers as he should as an artist." So
He's a good.
Wanna
He
make
is
sure
a
we-
good fucking artist.
yeah, we want to make sure he gets some love and he
Alex
gets a lot more
McCormick?
followers. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great artist.
Sea of Sorrows was a fantastic book.
Yeah, we were telling him how great it was, and then Jose was like, he had the graphic novel there, and Jose was all, the graphic novel seems a lot more brighter. And he's like, no, I don't think so. And he's like, yeah. He's like, hold on. He pulled out like the number one, and Jose pulled out the graphic novel, and he was comparing them, and he's like, oh yeah, because I remember one of the things that people were talking about that book was that it was too dark when it came out. Like the art was like really dark, and you couldn't see a lot. And so when you pulled out the graphic novel, it's a lot brighter now. Like they brightened the colors on there. And he's like, see, they did brighten it. I'm not crazy. Well, shut up, you crazy.
You're crazy, just not for this reason.
Yeah, we'll be talking
He was
to
doing
him
a lot
soon.
Alex was doing a lot of sketches that weekend.
Yeah, and his
his
prices were
portfolio,
not bad.
dude. His
He was-
portfolio was amazing.
Yeah, he was selling beautiful art in his portfolio, like published pages for like dirt cheap. And I was like, geez, if I had money, I would have bought one of those pages too.
He was
had some
doing
pages from there
quick remarks. Not even. Not quick.
for $20.
They're regular remarks for $20, and they're pretty awesome. And a bust, like really good bust, for like $60 to $80. That dude. Oh, and you should have seen all the artwork he had on his folder. And he's such a nice dude. Like, you just to talk to him, and he'll make a conversation with you. And he's a cool ass dude. You guys should anybody that's
Yeah,
watching
he did a
should follow
Crimson
him.
Cage too.
That's
What?
right.
That wrestling book.
That wrestling book.
Crimson Cage.
Yeah, I think you have it.
AWA put that out, didn't they?
Yeah, doesn't Fuzzy have that graphic novel you handed to him that one time?
Yeah, you should have at least. Yeah, you should have Crimson Cage, you fool.
I don't remember. The only one I remember is
That was his-
Powerbomb. That's the
that
only
was
Have
one
you
his
I-
finished Powerbomb?
No, I haven't finished it yet, dude.
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
It's good.
I know. I've been
Finish.
digging it.
Hey,
That was-
read that book. It ended this last week.
It was number 7,
the
right? Issue 7?
Yeah, number 7 was the conclusion.
I
It
barely
was good.
started. I barely started doing this one, the Briar.
That's
The
only
book.
on issue 1 still.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I know why now.
I'm
read
gonna-
the
I can't
Crimson.
wait for
Hey,
a
read
trade
Crimson
paperback.
Cage and let me know how that is because I haven't gotten that.
Crimson Cage was the
those-
one where it's kind of like the guy. It takes place like in Louisiana. It's on like the small circuit of wrestlers.
Yeah.
And like he gets like not a wish granted, but not quite selling his soul type thing. But it's got that aspect of it. But then it's also got like murder mystery kind of thing.
Like Clue.
Kind of, yeah. It's
I'll
it
have
was
to
good.
look. It was a
Oh,
trade, right?
Yeah, it was a trade. It's a red and black trade.
Yeah, you should have
Well,
it.
no, it came out in individual issues, but
I know,
I
but
think
you
you-
handed Fuzzy. You
Yeah.
handed Fuzzy
yeah, I
the
think we
trade,
did Fuzzy the trade.
and I remember you only had the one trade, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, I couldn't get it. Yeah, I was pissed.
None of us can get it, but Fuzzy.
I got
No,
that
not
one
that
too
one.
to read. Yeah, I still got that one to read.
That one's good too. That one's got some like
Oh yeah, that was good.
some
The
fucked up
Aftershock
shit.
I'm telling you, my pile. Look, dude, I'll show you. That's like my pile of shit to read right there.
That's fucking kid stuff, dude.
That's
Hey,
nothing.
I got piles right behind me, right here. All piles of shit I need to read still. Plus another pile of shit that I just picked up. Get out of here with your baby pile.
Look, because I'm picky with what I read.
Yeah.
And if you notice, there was no Superman in there.
Yeah, you're very good. You picked well. Let me guess, he flies and he has to figure out how to not fuck it up with Lois.
Yeah.
And is Luther there?
Oh, is this
Or is
Steve's
it
pile?
He's got the
Parasite.
tribulations of a gay son
And
now.
I got Steve's pile right here.
Yeah,
that?
Wildcats.
Wildcats.
Gen 13, baby.
I got Steve's pile right there of garbage that I
Woo-hoo.
found in
We're
the
pulling out
back of the
Steve.
box.
Hey, we're pulling out Steve trash.
Fuck all y'all.
I found something and I was like, oh, what the hell did I pick this up for?
Whenever I see like the Gen 13, I have like PTSD working at like Mile High with all of their like.
That's
everything
Nick's
came out
right there, Luther.
No, I didn't like that one.
It wasn't that good of a story.
Yeah, I didn't like that
No,
one.
I just read the Lex Luthor Porky Pig.
Hell
one.
yeah, baby.
The
Number
Lu-
1.
That's why we met.
I
Yeah.
know.
That's sentimental right there,
That's
dude.
it. You better put that in a fucking frame, you bastard.
I don't have that signed by him. That one's not the signed one.
That was the first time we all met was a Mark Silvestri.
How-
I
signing.
got this one the other day when I went up there. This is the one that was the art's done by the computer, so the whole book is done by the computer. You know, when you
What
type
is
in
that?
words.
I can't see it.
It's called
Can you spotlight them?
Yeah. Give me a
Nate?
sec.
Thanks.
The Abolition Man.
Abolition of Men.
That's an ugly face.
So this
Is that the first book done that way?
Yeah, it's the first book done with computer art, so it looked dope. That's why I got it. You know. Like, it just looked trippy as all hell, and I was like, really?
That might be a good spec book considering.
Yeah, there's not a lot of places ordered it, so he had a couple copies left, and I was like, give me one of them, dude. And he's like, all right. So I haven't sat down to read it yet or look, but it looked. I picked that one up, and then I had to get me another copy of this because I lost my copy.
You lost your copy?
I must have gave it to somebody, and then I had to pick up Superman and Spawn together. And then, of course, from the beautiful Race Comics.
Oh,
I know, I saw that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
my
when
Christmas
the fuck
present.
did we get that one?
It doesn't matter because I have it now. That's what matters.
I was gonna say
That's a good pick, Nick.
that is a good pick.
book.
And
I
then-
love that cover.
Spider-Man's
Dude.
got no chance.
That's right, he doesn't. God damn
Oh,
right.
I love
S
that
on the
cover,
chest.
too.
I was. You guys had some great stuff at Raise. I was shocked. I was like, well, not shocked, but like, you know, I was like, oh shit,
Oh,
they got that. And then when I saw what Nando picked up, I was like, what the?
I was
fuck,
gonna
dude?
say, did you see what Nando got?
Jesus
He, like,
Christ!
What did he
picked up
get?
All the Black Panther, all of
He
like
got
the
like a
Avengers,
fucking
all the
big ass, a bunch of Kirby shit. You got Fantastic Fours,
Yeah, dude, I was like,
Kirby,
fucking hey, dude. Now I'm about to hit up Nando.
Black
try to trade him.
Panther.
that whole collection we took in, half of it I think went to him.
Yeah, it did.
It was a good collection too, dude. Like
I gotta read this too. Number 3,
Which
You
one?
spoke.
Gorgon.
Hold on.
Gorgon.
Wait, because we still see Nick only.
Oh, you're gonna love it, dude.
Gorgon, huh?
That was great,
Yeah.
dude. That was fun.
Yeah, he was dope to talk to.
Yeah, and
I realized that the video that I shot from his table, I didn't end up putting in the. There was 2 videos that I didn't put in the video. I was like, oh fuck, I forgot. I guess I didn't download them quick enough.
Well, Photos wants to meet with us when we go to Arizona, so fucking he's a cool cat. Dude. That guy's a dope ass cat right there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I enjoyed our conversation about NERDYCON and Willow.
Dude.
And
Another fantastic,
DCU.
successful NERDYCon. Thank you so much to Nerdy Girl for inviting us. We had the awesomest time. I think we all became billionaires thanks to that con. So thank you.
all right, you want to take us out, Fuzzy?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We want to give you some love, some peace, and some chicken grease, ladies and gents.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Laters.